Today's topic, what is your calling? The quiz. Dum 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 dum. No, don't worry. I won't ask you to take out pen and paper and to do a quiz and a test that I will then mark, and at the end I say, oh, you failed your true calling test. Go back to the start. That's not what it is all about. The one thing that I want you to realize today is that finding your true calling is not that hard if you ask yourself a few honest questions, and even more importantly, if you answer these questions honestly. Because a lot of people are willing to ask themselves these questions, but then they allow their mind and their ego and their fears to manipulate the answers. Yeah, this job that I have right now, the security, I get paid on a regular basis, and I even get benefits, and those 15 days vacation a year. You can't say no to that. Finding my true calling, that's what happens to a lot of people when they ask themselves the question, hey, am I on the right path? Am I already living my true calling? Because let's face it, most people are not. And the fact that you're listening to this right now shows me that you might not be living your calling right now, which is totally okay. I just want you to have an open mind and an open heart, and maybe don't hate me completely after I ask you these questions, because some questions might be painful. But even if you say, Sebastian, after these questions, I hate you, as long as you answer them honestly and as long as you find your true calling, then I'm happy, because I'm here to serve you and to help you. And the first question I have for you, or let's say the first question I want you to ask yourself, is, do you enjoy the job that you're working at right now, or do you not enjoy it? Be honest. Forget about all these factors of, it's secure and safe, and that's what I did in university and my parents wanted me to do it, and yada 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 yada. Be honest to yourself. Do you enjoy your work, or do you not enjoy it? It's really that simple. And your heart already knows the answer. Your brain continues to listen to your ego and to say, sometimes when I'm with Chloe at the coffee machine, I actually really enjoy my work. When you're with Chloe at the coffee machine, that's not when you're working. What do you feel and how do you feel when you're actually working? This is the first indicator that you're on the right path or on the wrong path. For example, when I used to work in office jobs in Germany, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And I actually justified my misery by saying, hey, I have this secure job in Germany where I get so many vacation days a year. Yeah, great. Nowadays I'm independent and I can go on vacation whenever I want. And back then I used these 20 or 25 days that I got as a way to justify my own misery, because our brain is always afraid of change. So please do yourself a favor and answer this question honestly. Do you actually enjoy the job that you're working at right now, or do you not enjoy it? And if you don't enjoy it, then it's the wrong path, and it's not the path that leads you towards your calling. And the second question that I want you to ask yourself, what are the things that you already enjoy? And what are the things that you don't enjoy? Again, be honest to yourself. Try to find something that is more in the direction to what you already love to do. This is what embarking on this path is all about. It's not that you will find your true calling overnight. Sometimes it happens. I had Skype coaching clients who had this realization in a dream, or they woke up in the morning and had this realization, or they were under the shower and suddenly it hit them like, yay, that's what I want to do. Why didn't I follow my intuition? It can happen. But sometimes finding your true calling is a gradual process. That's what it was for me. You hop from one job to the next job, and then you decide, it's not really what I wanted to do. Then the next one, then you learn a skill on the way that you actually need once you then live your true calling. And at some point you arrive and you say, hey, wow, it's amazing. That's exactly what I want to do. This is what fulfills me. But you need to move in this direction. You need to move away from what you don't enjoy, and you need to move towards what you enjoy. It's really that simple. You just have to do it. And are you an introvert or an extrovert? Let's face it, if you are an introvert, you might not find your true calling, as somebody who organizes parties and events, or as a club promoter. I mean, if I imagine myself being a club promoter, I would shoot myself, burn myself, and jump out of the window. But I have a good friend who's actually a club promoter. He's socializing and going out and talking to everyone and going, yeah, I enjoy myself, woo. But when he's alone, then he feels really, really bad and he's suffering. And when I'm alone, I feel so peaceful because I'm an introvert. And if you're an introvert, then you might not want to become a club promoter. But you might find your true calling as a writer. At the same time, if I would tell my extroverted friend, hey, why don't you become a writer? He would tell me, are you completely crazy? I can't even sit down for 10 minutes. How could I ever write a book? And that's why I want you to listen to yourself. Who are you? And who you are leads you to what you want to do. And are you people-focused or object-focused? And one thing is not better than the other. Just because you may be object-focused doesn't mean that you don't have empathy and that you don't care about people. I mean, it's the same with introverts. Just because you're an introvert doesn't mean that you hate people. I love people, but I'm still an introvert. Unfortunately, there's this idea in our society that introverts are somehow people who hate other people. That's complete bollocks. If you're an introvert, it just means that you gain energy when you're alone and you lose energy when you're around other people. And in the same way, when you're object focused, doesn't mean that you hate people. It just means that objects interest you more, and then you might want to become an engineer or a programmer. And if you're more people focused, you will hate being an engineer, but you might love being a teacher or lecturer. So think about it. Are you object focused or people focused? And what would you want to do if Instagram wouldn't exist? We often falsely believe that our true calling is the reflection of some Instagram post or some Instagram picture of YOLO, you can do it, and surf the waves and blah 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 blah. And how many of my male Skype coaching clients told me that they believe that their true calling is to become some kind of Instagram business consultant, high-ticket sales guy. And so many of my female Skype coaching clients believe that they have to be an Instagram model or some kind of fitness influencer on Instagram. This is just conditioning. Listen to yourself. Just because somebody feeds us a certain idea doesn't mean that it's our idea. Always listen to yourself. What would you want to do if Instagram wouldn't exist? And if you want to become my next Skype coaching client, who I look at and say, when you tell me that you want to become an Instagram influencer, then you can inquire for your first Skype manifestation coaching session with me. The link is in the description. And yes, in this session, I also show you how to manifest more money, happiness, and anything you want into your life. I don't just say to you, don't worry about that. And what do you like to do whenever you don't do it for money? In other words, what are your hobbies? What are your interests? What are you passionate about when you don't get paid for it? And your interests and hobbies, when you really think about it, it's just something you do without getting paid for it. So this means you really enjoy it. And of course, that doesn't mean that your true calling is all about the things that you want to do and that there's never something that you don't want to do. I mean, for example, I don't like to do website design. I don't like to do all the technical stuff that comes with having an online business, but I still do it because 99% of the things that I do are things that I really enjoy. And the more you include these things in your job, in your career, in your business, the happier you will be and the closer you are to finding your true calling. And if you want to get on the fast lane, if you want to have the chance to discover your true calling faster and easier than you could have possibly imagined, then you might want to check out the link in the description, because this program helped me immensely when it comes to my own calling. And what are the things that you value in life and what are the things that you don't value? It's one thing to be honest about the things that you actually value in your life. That's already a good start. But it's another thing to also be honest about the things that you don't value in your life, especially when everyone around you tells you that that's what you have to do. For example, I love traveling, so I don't fall in this category. But a good friend of mine, he absolutely hates traveling. He's a very successful businessman. He has all the money in the world to travel the world, but he just doesn't want to. while our society makes him believe that the only way to fulfillment is traveling. But he doesn't value it, he just doesn't want to. And that's why it's a good thing that he didn't pursue a career as a travel blogger or travel vlogger. That's actually a really good thing. So even though everyone around you tells you to do one thing or another thing, always ask yourself, what do I value and what do I not value? And then follow your path. And the last question I want you to ask yourself, what is the one memory that gives me the most joyful and excited and happy feelings? This can be an indicator that this might be your true calling. For example, one of my Skype coaching clients, she booked a Skype coaching session with me because she wanted to find out what is my true calling. And I asked her some questions, I coached her, I allowed her to tap into her subconscious mind, and suddenly she had this revelation. Suddenly a memory popped up in her head. I don't want to reveal so much because I want to keep her identity private, but she had a memory that involved animals, and now she completely changed her career path and she's doing something with animals, and she's happier than she's ever been. And if you want to be happier than you've ever been and more fulfilled than you could have possibly imagined, then you might want to check out the link in the description and finally discover your true calling so that you can follow it and live the life of your dreams. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please send out some love to the YouTube universe by giving this video a big thumbs up. And I would also appreciate it if you would leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know what you think about my video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to click on the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I release a new video for you.